Oh, we're on some wrong settings here. Double check. Yeah, audio, virtual background happens to be wrong. There we go. The official background of Tabletop Tap Room. Well, hello everybody. This is Tom, aka Jedon, here for Tabletop Tap Room, and we're going live unexpectedly. But I want to present some breaking information. Let's get a share screen up. And this is the filing that happened today with the trustee in the TSR bankruptcy case in North Carolina. That Justin Lanassa filed for bankruptcy for his TSR LLC, which has been entangled with the other Wisconsin LLC, which has been entangled with the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum LLC. So all of those things are all kind of mixed together, but that's not what's important right now. Is that I know for a fact at least a dozen people, maybe more, have been. By the way, did you know that he's hiding assets? They're pointing out, they're doing screenshots of assets because Justin Lanassa reported in his bankruptcy 0 assets and 380 something thousand in liabilities, in debt. And so people have been going, by the way, he's got assets he's obviously not reporting. And if he sold out on 100 and something dungeon crawls at $50 a pop, that would be, substantial amount of money. But, there's been 2 printings. We're not entirely sure how many dungeon crawls were in the second printing. We believe 1,000. So at 50 times 1,000, that would be $50,000. Where is that money? That money's missing. Oh, but wait, their dungeon crawls have a sticker on them that say OSR Games now, and they're being sold by Mick McArt in Michigan, and I guess some are probably still being sold at Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum. So, this stuff's all been moved around and hidden, and all of the stock and assets of TSR. So the trustee has been getting these emails, and I have a source that told me the trustee was expecting that this would be the largest bankruptcy hearing coming up, scheduled for the 24th, that he has ever seen in his entire career. So just based on the number of, and that was just based on the number of emails he'd been receiving. So he's been getting a lot of information, and he has now filed this document. Let me blow it up so I can read it without, I don't know where my glasses are, but we'll do our best with this. Trustee's application to employ an attorney. He wants to hire an attorney. The undersigned trustee, pursuant to Section 327 of the Bankruptcy Code, Rule 2014 applies to the court. So he then says the undersigned is the trustee in the above bankruptcy case. It's the TSR LLC bankruptcy case. It is necessary for the trustee to employ an attorney for the following general reasons: to assist in identifying legal problems which may arise in the administration of the estate, to examine the security agreements, deeds of trust, and other instruments which may constitute liens upon the property of the estate, to identify and examine any statutory or judicial liens. Judicial liens sounds like, things like the Wizards of the Coast case and the Eric Stina slap lawsuit, which should be coming to a close at some point here. To determine the validity and priority of all such security agreements, liens, and encumbrances, to investigate any additional assets and rights which the trustee may have to property of the estate. So they want to investigate any additional assets and rights which the trustee may have to the property of the estate. It sounds like he's not convinced everything is open and above board. He wants to go looking for the assets that people have been telling him about. Oh, assets that would be stock, assets that would be property owned by TSR, assets like, oh, geez, a couple of Larry Elmore paintings. Those would be assets. Larry Elmore painting was bought to be used as the cover of Dungeon Crawl. That is an asset. Larry Elmore painting was bought just this past March at TSR Con 2, the Free for All Con, whatever the hell that was, that nobody showed up for but a few vendors. So he wants help to investigate, to examine and research all legal problems which may arise from the administration of the state, and to generally advise and represent the trustee upon any legal matters which may arise in the course of the administration of the bankruptcy bankruptcy estate. It is also necessary for the trustee to employ an attorney for the following specific reasons. A, to carefully examine the real estate records, intellectual property records, and tax records to determine what property constitutes part of the bankruptcy estate. Numerous properties, numerous things being sold by TSR LLC, like Sammy Zawa, the book written by Ernie Gygax Jr., Tales and Tots, another book published by TSR. So there's a lot of property that's intellectual property that's potentially could be sold off to make creditors whole. To examine the debtor's books and records and to investigate any recent payments and transfers of property made by the debtor to any third party or insider. Like potentially the day that Justin went up to Wisconsin to Ernie's Ronald David Paisley Con that he holds there for that fine young kid in the wheelchair. He invites a bunch of his friends. Justin was there. Deinhardt was there. Rumor has it that there was something was floated to transfer the Dungeon Hobby Shop to them, but he would have perpetual, so I don't know. But so they want to investigate this. They want to carefully examine the books, and he wants help to do that and to investigate rumors of transfer of property and assets. The trustee proposes to employ John C. Bircher III and the law firm of Davis Hartman Wright, LLP, collectively the firm, as attorneys on his own behalf, so far as may be practical and beneficial to the estate. The firm will perform those tasks enumerated in paragraph 2 and 3 above. The attorneys of DHW have wide legal experience in bankruptcy matters and will be able to adequately handle all legal matters involving the bankruptcy estate. It will be in the best interest of the estate for the trustee and his firm to serve as attorney in his own behalf. The compensation for legal services as attorney for the estate be allowed on a reasonable basis as such amount as determined by the court after or during the performance of such services on an interim or final basis after the so the legal debts have just gone up for Justin. The legal debts have just gone up for Justin. Oh my God. The proposed firm and its attorneys have no connection with the debtor. the creditors, or any other party in interest, their respective attorneys or accountants in connection with this bankruptcy estate, and the proposed firm and its attorneys do not hold or represent any interest adverse to the estate, and is a disinterested person as set forth in Section 327 of the Bankruptcy Code to be employed as an attorney for the estate. Justin must be crapping in his drawers, because now the estate of TSR LLC has an attorney looking out for its interest. The trustee has reviewed the schedules filed in this case, and based upon the information contained in the schedules represents the following. The value of the debtor's assets is zero. The amount of the debtor's liabilities is $384,941.99. Wherefore, the trustee requests that he be authorized to employ and retain John C. Berger III and the law firm of Davis Hartman Wright LLP as attorney for the estate, and for such compensation as may be approved by the court. Signed. Oh my goodness. What is that saying where you screw around and find out? This is what happens when you screw around with bankruptcy, and then you're going to find out. Justin screwed around with trying to put such a huge amount of debt on there for himself and for Hardwire Tattoo, so that he could claim it as a tax credit on his taxes. And, you know, we all know it's a made-up debt. And he tried to claim that there was no assets, none at all, to be sold, zero, which makes no sense on a company that was clearly printing product and selling it. You know, you print 1,000 board games that retail for $50. That's $50,000 worth of money passing through. Now, you know, not all of that's profit, yeah, but still, that money's not accounted for in his filing. Money's magically gone. So this is what we call FAFO. That's the saying, FAFO. Screw around and find out. So, yeah, things just got real. Karma just pulled up a chair to Justin's bankruptcy and sat her butt down. And this is going to be nothing but ugly. This is we're talking attorneys and accountants who know what they're doing. We're going to be digging into Justin. They're going to be investigating the transfer of assets. They're going to be so on and so forth. Now, also on this front, aside from this filing, I just read the filing last night from Wizards of the Coast, and I don't have that ready for me to pull up on screen. So basically, Wizards of the Coast lawyers wrote a very nice filing where they are saying this the stay does not really apply to us, and if it does, then we want relief from it, because Justin has been violating the court order to not harass our witnesses. The minute he had the stay from filing his bankruptcy, he commenced to harassing Don Samora. Redirected the site he owns, donosamora.com, redirected it so that it goes to a prison in Michigan near where Don lives. Just more harassment, but that wasn't all of it. There was more. There was posts online. He just commenced to harassing Don Samora left and right. And the Wizards of the Coast attorneys are like, that's enough. That is enough of messing with our witness. You are under court order to not do that. And so they're asking for relief from the courts, that a stay so that they can pursue filing for contempt for Justin violating this court order from the judge, and for fines and penalties to be applied. So once again, FAFO. He thought that getting this stay just exempted him from any prior orders, and it did not. It absolutely did not. I read through it, and they cited case after case after case where people thought that by filing bankruptcy, it exempted them from other court orders, so they could just screw around and have their cake and eat it too. And the judgment in all those court cases cited was no. So that was some more FAFO. Screw around, you're going to find out. And so they're seeking relief. And I just heard a rumor right before I came on that Wizards of the Coast is now adding Ernie Gygax Jr. to the court case. Because there is, rumor has it, a video. I have talked to a witness who was there in the video phone call. And we believe there is video in existence with somebody who has been stonewalling everyone. That this video does exist of Ernie talking about investing money and Duck Leeson investing money in the new TSR LLC scam. And so Ernie is now being added to the court case. And that's some FAFO for him. It's pretty much a scorched earth, take no prisoners approach on Wizards of the Coast. So I think things are about to get real. And at some point, somebody is potentially going to roll on somebody. And if the person who possesses that video, that rumored video, thinks they're going to get away with hiding it or even destroying it, once there are two witnesses saying, yeah, that video does exist, that phone call did happen, they got another thing coming. That'll be some FAFO on that individual. And so that individual can probably expect some legal proceedings coming against him. But karma's a bitch. Karma is a bitch, and she is pulling a chair up to the table on a bunch of people. And things are about to get real. And I thought we were going to have to wait a while longer before things really got real. But surprise, I just want to say a special thank you to my friend, and I'm kidding when I say that, Justin Lanassa. Thank you for pulling this bonehead move of filing for bankruptcy, thinking it was a way to get out, thinking it was a way to clear the decks of your legal troubles, because it has compounded them. And it's just getting real. You have FAFO'd a long time. There's been an awful lot of FA. And now the FO is coming home. So I just thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, my most sincere thank you, my most sincere appreciation for filing this bankruptcy, because it has changed the landscape. And there are things coming that I could talk about on video that I'm not going to, because I don't want you to prepare for them. But there's a whole lot more of the FO, find out, coming. And I just can't wait. Like right now, the deadline is the 24th for the trustees hearing, but I'm wondering if that's off. I'm wondering if that hearing's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to get a stay because they want to investigate. Where'd all those assets go? Where's all that stock? All that printed stock? What happened to it all? all those glorious pictures you posted on the Dungeon Hobby Shop page and on the TSR Facebook page, and all that stuff for sale in the web pages for TSR store and for Dungeon Hobby Shop store. Where's all that stock gone to that TSR had for sale? Everything labeled TSR. Everything labeled TSR that, if memory serves, Wizards of the Coast actually requested be impounded as part of their court case. So that's going to be a very interesting thing. If it all gets sold off and then they do get their wish for it to be impounded, I don't know what happens there. Oh, wait. Even if you did get away with transferring everything to OSR Games and Dungeon Hobby Shop, they probably would just find some way to add OSR Games to the court case, and they'd still impound, because I do believe Dungeon Hobby Shop and Justin Lanassa are still parties to the Wizards of the Coast case. So, as they say, shit just got real. It just got real. Super real. Super, super, super real. So this is Tom for Tabletop Tap Room with an unexpected live stream reporting on the filing from the trustee in the TSR bankruptcy case. Just covering in brief what's happening with the WotC case. And now there's a rumor. I've not seen the documentation. I've not been on Pacer and downloaded it yet. But there is a rumor that Ernie Gygax is being added to the court case for the Wizards of the Coast. So, developments all the way around. And, yeah, it's looking like the FA's been going on a long time. The screwing around by Justin Lanassa, he's been screwing around a long time. And now the FO is coming home to roost. Absolutely amazing. It's like sticking your finger in the meat grinder and just giving it a crank. Good job, Justin. And again, bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you with all the appreciation I can put into that. Thank you for doing this. Absolutely awesome. There was some. I just noticed there's some comments. So let me see. Oh, that's live stream telling me we're live. Wow, did JL think? What did JL think was going to happen? I think he thought he was going to get away with it. I absolutely think he thought he was going to get away with it. He thinks he's bulletproof. He thinks he's the man. And you just can't screw around in federal bankruptcy court like this and get away with it. These people have been doing this. They've seen all the tricks. And so, when you've got a GED and you didn't finish high school and you're not that bright, even though his wife has alleged that Justin Lanassa has the IQ of Albert Einstein. Yes, I kid you not. That, when he says he's a genius and he thinks like chess. I once heard it. He thinks like chess, playing checkers as tic-tac-toe or something like that. I once heard an individual say it. It was all messed up, but it was wicked funny. So yeah, I think he really thought he could get away with it. Sue Fuller, people always get what they deserve. It can just take a while. LOL. And not every single person ever gets what they deserve. And honestly, if he hadn't antagonized everybody, if he hadn't been an absolute jerk, I think you wouldn't have all these people lining up to go knocking on the trustee's door, because his email was public record, and to report, hey, by the way, he's got assets he's not talking about. These assets have been transferred to OSR Games, and these assets were TSR's assets, and he's reporting zero assets. And so everybody's lining up to tell him that. And, I think if he hadn't been such a jerk, he might have actually got away with some of this. If he hadn't gone and pissed in Wizards of the Coast Wheaties, he could have got away with a lot of this. But eventually you do enough of this, it does come home to roost. Sooner or later, chickens will come home to roost. So Fred Flynn, cue sad trombone sound for womp, womp, womp. I wish I had actually queued up some sound effects for that. That would have been absolutely awesome. And then another one from Sue Fuller, or this sound from Price is Right when you mess up. Oh my God, Price is Right. All those days as a kid, when I got sick and I stayed home on the couch watching Price is Right because I was too sick to go to school. Yeah. That sound effect. So yes, I spent last night reading one document, and then this one came across the boards, and I just read it. And I says, "Oh God, I have got to go live." And so, thank you guys for coming in and dropping comments, and I appreciate that. But we've basically covered it, and I've covered your comments, and I don't want to belabor this because I know Tenkar's on and I'm missing him, but I just had to cover this. This is absolutely stunning. And I was excited about the trustees hearing on the 24th because I could do the math on things that are going to happen in that trustees hearing that I don't think Justin thought about. He's got to be there and he has to answer questions. And the people who get to ask questions are people who are creditors, who are owed money. And those would be people like Don Samora. And so Justin has been flogging Don, harassing him. I gets to ask some questions. I think that is going to be interesting to watch. Potentially anybody else who might be owed money, them or their attorneys might be there. So, there's going to be some uncomfortable questions for him. And, Wizards of the Coast, I think they're going to have attorneys there to ask him questions. And so it's going to be like a little bit of a mini deposition before they ever get to depose him. He's not been deposed in the Wizards of the Coast case. So I expect those, and those attorneys, they're not like Clown Shoes attorneys that Justin hires. The Clown Shoes, North Carolina attorneys that he hires, probably people that he knows for a long time, that he's done business with in the past, who gave him a cheap price. It's just, these attorneys are going to get to depose. It's like a mini deposition. It's a freebie deposition. Justin has given away a freebie deposition for these attorneys. They're going to show up for this because they're going to be representing their clients. Free deposition. And he's got to answer questions. And he's going to be answering questions under oath. And he's not going to be able to lie. And if he does lie, that could be problematic. It's a chance for them to get him on record. And I know that there are certain things that attorneys were looking to get him on record about. So there are certain questions they're looking to ask him, and they probably don't even care if he lies. They're probably going to be like, yep, go ahead and lie. Thank you. Thank you for lying. Yes, thank you for that lie, and thank you for that lie, because then they're going to just bring up the evidence to go, yeah, he lied. And he perjured himself. So, yes, it's going to be fun. And even though I just talked about that, and it's kind of a mini warning for him, I don't think he's smart enough to not lie. I don't think he can help himself. Based off everything else I've seen to come out of this man, he is gonna stick his finger in the meat grinder, and by finger I really mean something else that resembles a finger, and he's gonna give that meat grinder a crank, and it's gonna be fun to watch. It's absolutely gonna be fun to watch. So I think I belabored this long enough. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks to my subscribers. Appreciate you all. But this is the FAFO, and the chickens are coming home to roost. And Justin has screwed around long enough, and now he's about to find out. And the Ernie Gygax thing, if that's true, and I can't wait to run down that legal document off of Pacer. If that's true, that's really, 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 really real. Because I think Ernie's significant other does not like Justin. Rumor has it. I don't know. Not talk to her. She don't like Justin. And if it's getting real for Ernie, I think she's going to be putting the pressure on him to crack. So this is on the cusp of getting real. So this is Tom from Tabletop Tap Room signing out. Thank you all for coming by for the video, and have a good night.